Elon Musk and NASA have just announced their new rocket called the Lightspeed engine, which defies physics and could take us to Mars in weeks instead of months. Now they are testing it in their spaceship called the Interplanetary Transport System. Designing an internal disruptive engine that would reduce launch costs is the entrepreneur's mission. The goal: $5 million. NASA calls it a breakthrough, and for Elon Musk it's totally unbelievable. A small team of NASA engineers has just tested a new type of rocket engine that can operate much more efficiently than anything currently on Earth. NASA has just successfully tested a new type of engine that promises to make space travel cheaper and faster. Currently, most commercial and military rockets use chemical fuels that must be pre-made on the ground and then loaded into rocket propellants before launch. Not only is this expensive and extremely complex, but it also limits the amount of weight that can be lifted from the Earth's surface. Call it the new experimental engine. It runs on an alternative form of fuel, electricity, the kind you plug into the wall. It may sound crazy at first, but when you consider that 95% of everything you do in life involves the use of electricity at some point, this idea may not seem so far-fetched anymore. In September, Musk and a team of NASA scientists announced their design for a revolutionary rocket they called the Raptor. It can withstand more than 500,000 pounds of thrust and run on liquid methane instead of traditional kerosene, which means it would produce 30% less carbon dioxide emissions. But to get to space, engineers must first successfully show that it works here on Earth. I'm hoping to do short flights, kind of up and down flights, probably sometime in the first half of next year. Steve Yurchik, Associate Administrator for NASA's Space Technology Mission Directorate, told Mashable in an interview, "Surely you are wondering, what are they building? Basically, it's a giant combination super heavy lift launch vehicle and booster rocket, capable of lifting 170 metric tons into low Earth orbit. To put that in perspective, Falcon Heavy, SpaceX's recently operational heavy lift rocket, is capable of lifting 54 metric tons. That means a single Raptor engine could potentially replace the 3 Merlin first-stage engines used in the current Falcon 9 launch vehicle. The Raptor also differs from most traditional rockets in that it runs on liquid methane instead of kerosene, which has been used since the 1950s. Methane is cleaner and easier to produce than traditional rocket fuel, but also extremely difficult to handle. The amount of energy required to liquefy methane means that conventional rocket engines can't use it as a propellant. They would burn because they couldn't hold as much pressure and heat. But SpaceX looks ready to figure out how to harness that power with Raptor. The experimental engine generates a whopping 420,000 pounds of thrust using methane as fuel and liquid oxygen as oxidizer. The M-drive produces thrust by bouncing microwaves back and forth inside a closed chamber. The electromagnetic fields that result from these swings also produce an equal and opposite reaction, causing an acceleration in one direction. To power it, you have to use solar power or some other kind of external power supply, which could be another spacecraft or even a ground station receiving radio waves. But so far, experiments with systems like these haven't been able to create enough force to overcome drag, the decelerating force created by friction between air molecules as an object moves through it or makes significant changes to the trajectory. And now, researchers working on a NASA-funded study have discovered that what is supposed to be impossible actually is, at least in some cases. A team from Eagle Works Laboratories has completed tests of an electromagnetic drive in conditions similar to those you might experience in deep space, and they claim that these tests confirm a thrust-to-power ratio of 1:4, which is higher than any of their calculations anticipated for such a device and could open up new possibilities for deep space exploration. Elon Musk is bringing science fiction one step closer to reality. His company, SpaceX, says he has created a propulsion system that defies physics and has successfully tested it. The rocket's propulsion system uses electrically charged gas and can reach speeds of up to 65 kilometers per second. About 135,000 miles per hour. The engine is made from super light carbon fiber fuel tanks with cold gas propellants. It does not use any type of propellants, which means that it does not expel any byproducts into space. Instead, as Wired explains, the engine produces thrust by accelerating the superheated plasma with magnetic fields, which also means no combustion fumes are expelled. These types of engines are known as electric thrusters, but they work very differently than those used in SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets. These thrusters create thrust by propelling pressurized gas, while electric ones produce a charged plasma that emits ions to push a ship forward. The electric motor developed by SpaceX is reportedly more powerful than conventional grid-ion thrusters and could power manned missions to Mars and beyond. It could also reduce the travel time of space-bound cargo because it requires less propellant, which can be expensive to launch into orbit. The technology is still being tested, and further development is needed before it is ready for space flight. It has been submitted for peer review, and NASA experts believe it has potential. Would you like to travel to Mars? Are you curious to know what is on that planet? Let us know your opinion in the comments box. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Some say it's impossible to travel at high speeds through space, but that hasn't stopped Elon Musk from claiming he can do it. His idea is to create an engine at the speed of light that will take us to Mars in just 70 days. Such an engine defies physics and would mean traveling at more than 300,000 kilometers per second. There are a few ways we could travel at the speed of light, but first, we need to understand how light works. As it travels through space, every atom in its path interacts with it. This slows it down and even stops it altogether if there is nothing to go through. Due to these interactions, light has a maximum speed of 186,000 miles per second, which means that it is the fastest it can go through empty space. Since nothing can travel faster than light without breaking the laws of physics, if we want to reach a distant star in our lifetime, we must find another way to get there besides traveling directly to it. This Elon Musk engine represents a huge leap in humanity's ability to traverse space and a huge point of progress for humanity. The technology could revolutionize our abilities to travel between other planets, explore deeper parts of our solar system, and even leave our galaxy. If successful, Elon Musk will go down in history not only as one of the most popular figures in Silicon Valley, but also as a giant among scientists and engineers alike. All in all, this is a pretty exciting time to be alive. Although physicists have known for years that you can only travel faster than light using a wormhole or warp drive, humans have never achieved either of these. Even with the best minds focused on multiple problem areas, our most advanced technology still couldn't reach those speeds. We knew we needed it, but we didn't know how to make it work. But now we might have a way to get there. The ramifications of Musk's new engine could be huge not only in space exploration, but also here on Earth. Well, subscribers, this has been all for today's video. Let us know in the comments if you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss all the curious facts and important information about science and technology that we bring to you in each video.